All right, morning YouTube fam. Well, morning, good evening, good night. Wherever you are in the world, I appreciate you for coming to check me out. This is Dark Angel's Journey, and I'm Shakira. So welcome, welcome. So I haven't had as much energy as I would have liked this week to put up more vids and trade. And honestly, this one's more about, I wanted to show you this quick setup that I saw and then just kind of talk really quickly about the psychology a little bit more, right? Because honestly, I've not felt super motivated this week, and I think that that's primarily due to how I've been feeling physically, maybe even emotionally, and honestly, like, those are reasons to not trade. Okay, guys? So pretty much set that as a rule. If you're sick, if you're angry, if you're sad, if you're anything but calm and collected and ready for the day, like you've had your coffee and I'm like, then don't do it. Okay? Because you're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna miss things, and that's no bueno for your money. All right, no bueno for your money. All right, so that's kind of how I've been feeling for the last week. So I haven't done anything besides just practicing and stuff. And I did post a couple vids about using the CPR and the moving averages as potentials, and I think I like it. But on top of that, what I'm thinking is really important, besides using indicators, is to try and make sure you understand what the candles are telling you. So I've also been spending a lot of time trying to understand the momentum of the markets, the candlesticks themselves, if those can help me figure out what to do without indicators. So I'm gonna continue to try and figure that out. But my advice is, if you're feeling under the weather or low or any of that stuff, don't trade. There's always another day. It's especially if you're trading crypto, man. There's 24/7 trading, bruh. Ladies, they, them, there, everybody, all my peeps, okay? 24/7. So if you need to take a second to readjust and realign yourself, more power to you. Please do it. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? We all out here trying to make a little, a little cheddar, a little So for me, I already told you guys, I'm trying to make my little extra vacation money, right? One day I want to be able to say that I have grown my trading account to the point where I can take some profits and go on vacation. I don't know. Maybe in the Maldives. Maybe I'll get a spot over the water and my freaking beach, the freaking ocean is right there, and I just bloop. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, enough of that silliness. So that's how I've been feeling. So that's why I haven't been posting any trade vids or anything like that. And that's okay. It happens. So I got myself a little refresher. Feeling a little bit more peppy. So I'm gonna see what's up. All right, so check it out. I was seeing this wedge forming on Bitcoin on the 15-minute, and let's see how long did it take to form and finally break out potentially. Well, that's 85 bars, right? And okay, let's see. So I don't know if you guys know what a support resistance flip zone is. It's basically an area where, price will come back up to it and then, rebound off of it, and then eventually a big enough momentum will break through it. As an example, I have two separate ones on this chart on the 15-minute, right? Areas where price was supported by that particular zone, right? support. Even if it broke through it a little bit, it still hasn't like really, false breaks. It came back up and continued through. Or maybe I haven't drawn it properly. Who the heck knows, right? But the point is, it's a zone where, price was coming back to it, and, it was touching it and bouncing off of it, touching it, bouncing off of it, like just an area where you could say that. And then, of course, a nice strong break above it. And that's the important part to recognize for an SR flip area, right? Like, there's got to be a nice strong candles to break through and switch the trend direction, right? In which case you saw this thing happen here, boom, boom, boom. Definitely a nice SR flip area. And then it came back down nice strong, boom, 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 or strongish, right? But once I saw this breakdown, I was like, oh man, there's probably like a nice SR flip area. And the important thing to recognize that if it's an actual support resistance area is, does it actually like close below that area, right? So we saw it kind of like hang out, think about it, bounce back up into it, and then finally start to roll out. And the longer it like takes to make a decision about whether or not it's gonna like remain above or below, then most likely you're gonna end up, it's gonna be flipping into resistance, which is what happened here, right? So this is a beautiful spot for a nice like short trade, right? Because now you have an area where you can come in and, depending on your trading algorithm, find some potential method for entering it. It could be like maybe there's a nice market structure break here on the lower time frames for a nice entry. Maybe there's an imbalance, just some sort of price structure reason for you to take it from here. But it's a beautiful area to take a nice like trade from. Anyway, so notice that there's two of them. I noticed that there's two of them because there's another nice juicy break into it. Boom, it rolled above and it's supporting the price to continue back up. Whether or not that's going to hold, I don't know. Anyway, so while after the breakdown of this area right here, so I noticed this downward sloping trend, and this is the reason I'm bringing this up is because like when I drew it out, I was like, we're still in a very bearish space, right? And I'm mostly looking for shorts. So I was thinking to myself, it's coming down at most, and you see I've drawn this additional thing is like from the top of this to the bottom of that, right? And these downward sloping flags, they mostly tend to like bounce up, right? And honestly, we're between two SR flip zones. So in my mind, I was thinking, well, I mean, there's no reason for price not to plot back up here if there's like a good enough reason for that. And it ended up doing it, but it took, let's see, from this break to finally take profit, it took 14 hours and 30 minutes. Man, all that nail biting, right? And if you'd say had once you saw this break above here, if you'd enter the trade in here, and honestly I feel like it's a good idea to watch it first, right? Because look at how this like meandered about. And and that's the other problem too, because there's also an SR flip area at the bottom. It might have been better for you to see if price is going to be drawn back into that support and resistance area and then take it, right? Because look at the consolidation area here, all these tiny little candles, it's thinking about stuff, and then boom, it went back down to the SR flip area, touched it, and then bounced, pretty much hit it a couple times, then bounced back up. And then of course, oh my god, it's hilarious too, because look, what I usually say and what I'm learning is, like, let's say you saw these two green candles, perfect, a red candle next to this one, we sideways consolidated, let's say you'd entered here, right? And you were going to take a quick long from this breakout, you would have had to set your stop loss below this SR flip zone down here to be safe, and then set your take profit to your technical target. Now the technical target is good. You could have also said, I could also take it at the SR flip area above as the target. You know, like don't get super greedy. You don't know if it's going to punch back in well or not. So maybe just take it at your, or at least take profit at your technical target, and then look to the left always. Like, is there anything up there? Oh yeah, and that's the other reason why I was like perfect, because there's an imbalance at this area too, for it to eat. There's another one just above it, but that looks like it's already been eaten. Yes, but this one hadn't been eaten, and look at it, bam, they went right to it. Rude, just rude. The market is just smacking you about, but you could have also smacked it about. And you know, the one thing that's fascinating that I'm learning is you've got to risk something to get something, you know. And when I started this whole process, I'm like, I don't want to risk more than 1%. It's not feasible, okay? It's not feasible. It's insane to think that you can only put a stop loss at 1% below this thing, and then think that, you know, with all of the market's not going to just go phew in the direction you want it to go. No, it's going to oscillate, come back down to retest things, and then roll back up, hopefully in your direction. That doesn't mean it's going to work all the freaking time, but you know, that's the expectation. So what you want to do is give the trade room to breathe. That's all. Just give it room to breathe, because otherwise you're going to constantly get stopped out constantly. So that's the thing I'm learning. And you got to also get comfortable, again, with the psychology, right? You got to get comfortable with seeing your trade being in the red. Because look, let's say you'd entered here and you set your stop loss under the SR flip zone, right? Because so far they come in, they'd punch through a little bit, but look, they've been making that lower low, and you know, it was still upward sloping technically, right? So you know, if you're thinking, all right, at most I'll see if it's gonna, you know, respect below this area. You could have been even more insane and put it below this low and been even more comfortable, but that's too much risk, right? In terms of potential rewards above, that's not worth that. But anyway, that's basically what I wanted to show you guys. It's just having to wait so long, because you'd have had to sit. Let's come in here. So if you'd seen this green candle, said yes, I'm gonna open up the next one, so it would have been like here, and then you'd have had to wait, what did I say, 14 hours and 45 minutes. On the other hand, if you had waited for it to come back to this area and have it bounce off of it and just say, I'm ignoring this wedge altogether, boom, who cares, I'm just going to take something from this area. Once it hits it, boom, let's say you'd taken it at the first green candle, this guy right here, probably that guy, then you would have waited 10 hours and 15 minutes. So the point is, you'd have been waiting, period. Just waiting. Alright guys, that's all I wanted to share for today. I'm going to continue to do my thing, practice, you know, get more comfy, understanding what the candles are telling me, because I want to get to the point where, you know, I use indicators as just tools, you know, not necessarily the reasons why I enter into trades. Maybe sometimes they will be, right? Because I do like the CPR and the SMA stuff, that's pretty sweet, but you know, I can't use them all the time, because those things don't come together all the time. So I definitely need to sort out, you know, at least 1 to 2 strategies and test them consistently. Can't keep changing my mind, testing it 1 or 2 times. Nah, you got to test these things like 200-300 times, you know, before you can make a decision. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. All right, YouTube fam, I hope this is helpful. If it was, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, drop a comment down below. I'm gonna post a video up here at the end for a YouTube channel that I've been watching for understanding the different candlesticks and stuff. It's actually pretty great as well. All right, guys, you enjoy your Thursday. It's Thursday, right? Yeah, it's Thursday. What are we? September 22nd. Man, this month is just like flying away. So ridiculous. All right, guys, have a good one. Shakira out.